In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to solve stoichiometry problems using your roadmap. First off, I need to explain to you how to use and how to make your roadmap. The first step of it is going to be putting moles at the very center. I'm going to be showing you how to find volume of gases at STP using 22.4 liters, and I'm also going to be showing you how to find particles using Avogadro's number and finding grams from moles using molar mass. First off, to get the grams, you're going to need to know your molar mass. So on your roadmap, put molar mass. Connect molar mass to grams. This is going to connect moles to grams using molar mass. Alright, next step is finding particles. To find particles, you're going to need to know Avogadro's number. Avogadro's number is 6.022 times 10 to the 23. So, next step is to draw a line from moles to Avogadro's number. When you put Avogadro's number on your roadmap, make sure you include 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd. As so. Connect Avogadro's numbers to particles. Particles are units or atoms that you have to look for in your problems. Next step is getting to volume of gases at STP. So draw a line from moles to volumes of gases at STP, and make sure on the line connecting those two is 22.4 liters. You're going to need to know 22.4 liters to plug them in the stoichiometry equations, which I'm going to show you in a few minutes. Make sure your table looks like this. Next step is to make your stoichiometry equations. First off, you're going to want to make an H bracket. To make an H bracket, just draw an H. That's as simple as it gets. At the top left, on the outside of your bracket, you're going to be putting what you are given. So for instance, if I am giving 5 grams of hydrogen, I'm going to put 5g of H. Now, when you put 5 grams of hydrogen, on the bottom bracket right here, I'm going to need to cancel that out. So I'm going to put 1 gram of hydrogen. As so. Now, for the last bracket, right there, this is what you're going to get after you cancel all that out. So, if you're going to find how many moles are in a certain amount of grams, you're going to need to use your molar mass. So you're going to put your molar mass of whatever is in your problem, of the elements in your problem, right there. Once you have an equation sort of like this set up, for example, 5 grams of hydrogen is your given. You need that 1 gram of hydrogen on the denominator right there to cancel that out. So from when you're going to grams, from you're coming from grams and you're trying to get the moles, you're going to need your molar mass. So we're going to put our molar mass right there. say our molar mass is just oxygen. Our molar mass of oxygen is going to be 15.999. We can just round that. So I would put 16 of oxygen. You can put 16 of oxygen or 16 of O. As so. So the next part of this is just multiplying. When you multiply and divide, you're going to need to do 5 grams of hydrogen times 16 of oxygen. So 5 times 16 is 80. And you're going to divide 80 by 1. This makes your answer 80. For this example, we're going to be finding out how many moles of propane are in 286 grams of propane. So we're going to be going from moles to grams in this situation. What we were given was 286 grams of propane. So our given goes in the outside of our bracket. So I'll show you. 286 grams of propane is carbon, 3 carbons, and 8 hydrogens. So it's going to be 286 grams of C3H3. We're going to find our molar mass of propane. So the way we're finding our molar mass is right now our elements. Our two elements that are in propane are carbon and hydrogen. So we're going to put C, and below C we're going to put H, like that. The first number that we're going to be plugging in is how many are in the element. So there's 3 carbons and there's 8 hydrogens. So it should look like that so far. Now we're going to have to find the atomic mass and we're going to plug it in. So you're going to want to look at your periodic table and you're going to want to find your element and then you're going to look at the atomic mass. So for carbon, it's going to be 12. So it's going to be 3 times 12. And for hydrogen, it's going just to be 1. So it's going to look like this. So 3 times 12 is 36, and 8 times 1 is 8. 36 plus 8 is 44. So 44 equals molar mass. So 44 is going to be equal to your molar mass. So we're going to need that 44 to plug into our H bracket. So we're going to put 44 in the denominator. 44 grams. So make sure it's grams of propane so you can cancel out what's in your given. Everything but the number needs to be canceled out. So it's going to be 44 grams of C3H8. As so. Now, for the very top, we're just going to put 1 mole because we're going to be going from grams to moles, and we already used our molar mass in there. So look at your table. Grams, you need to use molar mass to get from grams to moles. So our molar mass is already at the bottom. Our grams right there. So now we just need to plug in the moles and the empty space of our H bracket. So we're just going to put 1 mole. Now what you do, after you have that, you're going to want to multiply 286 times 1. 286 times 1 is 286. When you divide that by 44, let me write this out real quick. 286 divided by 44, you're going to get, see that right there? We're going to get 6.5. So that's your answer, 6.5 moles of propane. Now, every problem of stoichiometry works the same way. You have to plug in, your given always goes the same way. You always have to cancel out parts of your given, everything but the number. You're always going to use an H. If you're using grams in it, you're going to have to use your molar mass. And to find the molar mass, you're going to have to look at the elements of what you need and how many of that element is there. So if it's like in the last problem, C3H8, there's 3 carbons and 8 hydrogens. And then you need to multiply 3 times the atomic and 8 times the atomic mass. So that's how you get the molar mass. Molar mass is very easy. So the key things that you need to remember to always be successful in getting your stoichiometry problems right is A, B, B, C. This is how you're going to look at it. First, you're going to have to get your given. A equals given. B is what you're going to use to cancel out of your given. Everything needs to be canceled out of everything in your given needs to be canceled out except for the number. The B is just used to cancel out. The C is the product of what you're going to be getting after you cancel out the parts of your given. So A, B, and C. It's simple as that. Make sure you always have your periodic table. Make sure you always round. Make sure you always, and a key thing to do in these problems, which makes everything a lot easier, you can write out if you need to be going from grams to moles, like we were in another problem. Alright, if we were going from volume of a gas at STP, you need to use 22.4 liters to get to moles. So what I would do is you go from volume of gas. You should always write things out if you are confused on how to work through things. It'll make it a lot easier. So 22.4. So just like that, if you're going from the volume to get to the moles, I would write out volume of gas at STP, an arrow pointing to 22.4 liters, and from that 22.4 liters, you need to be writing an arrow to moles. This will track out and map out everything for your problems, and I really highly recommend doing this. Make sure you always make sure you always place everything right, and you'll get all of these problems correct.